Assalamualaikum, students. Today I start with you on surgical site infections. So I'm Dr. Professor Muhammad Asghar from Fauji Foundation Hospital, and our topic will be surgical infection and their management. So, our aim will be we will be defining what is surgical infections, what microorganisms are involved, and there is a definition of infected states, pathogenesis of surgical infection, surgical site infection assessment, localized infection, type of surgical infection, surgical site prevention, and in the last we will discuss the antibiotics. Surgical site infections are defined as the infection of a wound can be defined as invasion of organism through tissue following a breakdown of local and systemic host defenses leading to local and systemic presentation. These are the type of organism involved. Majority are the Staph aureus, Epidermis, Enterococcus E. coli, Pseudomonas, Klebsiella, gram-negative Streptococcus species, anaerobics, and gram-positive. Definition of infected state: SSI is an infected incised wound or deep organ space. SIR means surgical inflammatory response syndrome is the body systemic response to an infected wound. MORD stands for multiple organ dysfunction syndrome, which is the effect that the infection produces systemically on the body. Multiple MSOF means multiple surgical multiple site organ failure, the end stage of uncontrolled MOD. It may be known as MOF, multiple organ failure, or multiple systemic organ failure. SIRS is surgical infection respiratory response. If there is a hypothermia of greater than 38 degrees centigrade or hypothermia less than 36 degrees, there may be tachycardia of greater than 90 per minute or tachypnea of more than 20 per minute, WBC count greater than 12,000 or less than 4,000. Sepsis is SIRS with a documented infection. Sepsis infection is the sepsis with one or more organ failure. This is the pathogenesis. The infection of the surgical site will depend upon the dose of the bacterial contamination and its virulence, how virulent the bacteria is, how dangerous it is, and it will be inversely proportional to the resistance offered by the host patient. This will lead to the risk of the surgical site infection. What are the causes of reduced host resistance to infection? There may be metabolic causes such as malnutrition, including morbid obesity, diabetes, uremia, jaundice, disseminated disease, cancer and AIDS, iatrogenic conditions such as radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and steroid for chronic illnesses such as rheumatoid, asthma, etc. Risk factor for increased risk of wound infection may be malnourishment, weight loss, obesity, metabolic disease, diabetes, uremia, jaundice, immune suppression, cancer, AIDS, steroid, chemotherapy, and radiotherapy, colonization and translocation in gastrointestinal tract, poor perfusion, systemic shock or local ischemia, foreign body material, poor surgical techniques such as dead space and hematoma. Factors that determine whether a wound will become infected or not. It all depends upon the host response, virulence and inoculum of infected agent, vascularity and health of the tissue being invaded, including local ischemia as well as systemic shock. Because of high vascularity in face and head and neck, the chances of wound infection of surgical wounds is very less in these areas. Then there is the presence of dead or foreign tissue in the wound, presence of antibodies during the decisive period. These are the prophylaxis antibodies that we usually give during surgery. SSI assessment include for surgical wound assessment several scoring systems are employed. Asepsis, asepsis wound scoring, Southampton wound grading score system. These enable surgical wound healing to be graded according to specific criteria, usually giving a numerical value, thus providing more objective assessment of wound. This is Southampton wound grading system, grading from 0 to 5 and consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, which are further divided into various subclassifications. You can take a picture of this and to memorize. Additional criteria, these are the point scoring system. If we are giving antibiotics, then we give 10 score, range of stress 5, debridement is given 10. If there is a serious discharge, we give 0 to 5 according to the amount serious is coming out and the area of the wound, erythema 0 to 5, purulent exudate, separation of deeper tissues, isolation of bacteria, pus cultures, and the hospital stay. There is a various types of localized infection. These include abscess, localized abscess formation, or a boil. An abscess is a collection of pus that has built up within the tissue of the body. Signs and symptoms of abscesses include redness, pain, warmth, and swelling. The swelling may feel fluid-filled when pressed. There may be some fluctuation available. The area of redness often extends beyond the swelling. Management. Abscesses need drainage. Modern imaging techniques may allow guided aspiration. Antibiotics are indicated if abscess is not localized, that is evidence of cavity, or the cavity is not left open to drain freely. Healing by secondary intention is usually encouraged in infected wound. Cellulitis and lymphangitis. Lymphangitis can spread quickly, leading to complications such as cellulitis, skin infection, bacteremia or bacteria in your blood, sepsis. What is sepsis? A body-wide infection that is life-threatening, non-suppurative, poorly localized, commonly caused by streptococcus, Staphylococcus. Blood cultures are negative usually. Bacteremia and sepsis. Sepsis is a common after an osmotic breakdown. Bacteremia is dangerous if the patient has a prosthesis. Sepsis may be associated with MODs. Gas gangrene is caused by Clostridium perfringens. Gas and smell are characteristic. Immune-compromised patients are most vulnerable. Antibiotic prophylaxis is essential when performing amputation to remove dead tissue. Then there is another special type of infection, that is synergistic spreading gangrene or subdermal gangrene necrotizing fasciitis, such as Fournier gangrenes of scrotum or necrotizing fasciitis of abdominal wall. Synergistic gangrene, a spreading infectious gangrene of skin and subcutaneous tissue, usually begin around the retention switches after abdominal operation. It is caused by hemolytic microaerophilic streptococcus in synergism with other organisms. So the wound infection will depend on the type, depth of the wound infection, etiology, time of occurrence, and the severity. Depth of the wound infection. Superficial incisional SSI occur less than 30 days. Skin and subcutaneous tissues are involved. Purulent discharge is there. Sign of inflammation. Open incision. We normally uh, make an open incision with drainage. Deep incisional SSI means occur in 30 days to 1 year. 1 year we extend for the application, putting of prosthesis in orthopedic surgeries that have a low uh, long-term incidence of infection. There may be purulent discharge, affected deep tissues, spontaneously they are opened and deliberately open. There are two types, either they open by themselves or do we make an incision to open and drain these abscesses. Then organ space SSI means occur 30 days to 1 year, involves any part, organs. Purulent discharge is the discharge is to be drained surgically. These are the criteria for defining a surgical site infection. Infection occurring within 30 days after operation, involving skin and subcutaneous tissues. There may be purulent discharge, organ isolated. There is at least one of the following symptoms of infection: pain, tenderness, localized swelling, redness, heat, or superficial heat, and superficial incision is deliberately opened by surgeon unless incision is culture negative. Diagnosis made by the surgeon or attending physician. We do not report these following type of infection in SSI such as stitch abscess, infection of episiotomy, newborn circumcision site, burn wound, incisional SSI that extend into facial muscle layers. Special criteria are used and special defining terms are used in these cases. And deep incisional SSI means infection occurring within 30 days after the operation if no implant is left in place, or within 1 year if some implant is kept in place and infections appear to be related to the operation. An infection involves deep tissue, facial muscle layers, and at least one of the following is present: purulent discharge, a brief incision, spontaneous dehiscence. There is a fever, localized tenderness, pain, an abscess or evidence of infection involving deep incision is found on direct examination during reopening or by histological or radiological examination. Diagnosis of deep incision SSI by a surgeon or attending physician. Then there is organ space SSI infection occurring within 30 days after operation if no implant is left in place, or within 1 year if implant is left in place. An infection will involve any part, anatomical part, organ or space other than incision which are open or manipulated during surgery. And one of the following symptoms may be present: purulent discharge, organism isolated from an aseptically obtained culture of fluid or tissues, an abscess or other evidence of infecting involving space, organ space that is found on direct examination during reoperation or by histological or radiological examination. Diagnosis of an organ or space SSI by surgeon or attending physician. So what may be the etiology? Etiology may be acquired from a community or indigenous source such as swelling of perforated papules, or there may be a secondary exogenous source such as operation theatre, such as inadequate air filtration in OT, or ward, poor hand washing compliance, or from contamination at or after surgery, that is anastomotic leak. Time may be early, infection present within 30 days, intermediate between 1 to 3 months, and late more than 3 months to 1 year. Severity may be minor, wound infection may discharge pus when infected, serious fluid, but should not be associated with excessive discomfort, systemic signs, or delay in return. Then major SSI is defined as a wound either discharging significant quantity of pus spontaneously or needs a secondary procedure to drain it. Then this is a classification of different types of surgical wounds. They may be clean. The rate of post-operative infections is 1 to 3%. These clean wounds include wounds of hernial repair, subcutaneous removal of lipoma, neuromas, small plastic surgeries. Then there are clean contaminated wounds where the post-operative surgical wound infection is about 5 to 8%. They may include removal of gallbladder or minor intraoperative vein cyst, etc. Then there are contaminated wounds such as operation or appendix, in which the post-operative infection rate is about 20 to 25%. Then there are dirty wounds, which are obviously pus draining wound, drainage of abscess, deep-seated, superficial, and the post-operative wound infection rate is about 30 to 40%. Surgical site preventions include preoperative measures, antibiotic prophylaxis, post-operative care, operation theatre procedures. How to avoid surgical site infection? Preoperative staff should wash their hand between patient. Length of patient stay should be minimal. Preoperative shaving should be done immediately before surgery. Antiseptic skin preparation should be standardized. Attention to the theatre techniques and discipline. Avoid hypothermia perioperatively and ensure complementary mental oxygenation in recovery. Operation theatre ensures sterilized cap, mask, gowns, and gloves. Skin preparation with pyodine should be done. Wrap should be dry and instruments should be sterilized. Avoid unimpregnated plastic bags, gentle tissue handling, appropriate suture material, avoid dead spaces. What are the principles for the use of antibiotics? Antibiotics do not replace surgical drainage of an infection. Only spreading infection, sign of systemic infection justify the use of antibiotics. Whenever possible, organism and sensitivity should be determined. And what are the choices of antibiotics for prophylaxis? Empirical cover against suspected pathogen with local hospital guidelines. Single shot intravenous administration at the time of anesthesia. Repeat only during long-term operation or if there is excessive blood loss. Continue as therapy if there is unexpected contamination or if a prosthesis is implanted in a patient with a septic source. Benzyl penicillin should be used if Clostridium gas gangrene infection is possibility. Patient with heart valve disease or a prosthesis should be protected from bacteria caused by dental work, urethral instrumentation, or visceral surgery. Commensal that become opportunistic pathogens are likely to develop multiple antibiotic resistance may be necessary to rate antibiotics. These are the prophylactic regime and various types of surgeries being used. You can take a picture of this and memorize them. So the treatment will management depends upon the exercise, surgical debridement of a wound, severe infection, sutures removed, free drainage. Culture should be done for appropriate antibiotics. Sign of healing means secondary suturing. And for this, I thank you all. If you have any query, you can contact me through your emails, and I can love to answer your queries. I thank you very much, all of you, for such a patient listening. With this, we come to the end of the lecture.